at night ain't worth it. This circle around my eye ain't worth it. These bruises that I feel in the morning time ain't worth it. But I'm worth it. And His love is all I need. In His love, it never hurts me.
Talking about gender-based violence, GBV, where we can say it's an harmful act inflicted on a person, either a male or female, a boy or a girl. And when we are talking about this infliction or harmful act, it could be physical, it could be sexual harassment, it could be emotional, it could be economic abuse. And it happens when someone is abused simply because whether a female or a male, or especially young ones, either boys or girls, they are always the victims. It affects mostly women and girls because when we are talking about girls or women, because of their nature, so they are fragile and they are not as strong as men, so they can easily be abused. And this is rooted in unequal power relations. You can talk about discrimination, you can talk about culture. So, or cultural, we have cultural norms also. Well, when we are talking about GBV, it can happen anywhere, especially in the home. It can happen in schools, workplaces, even among religious centers. It can happen online, it can happen in the community. And it is very unfortunate that many of us may not know that many things are being perpetrated even in the primary schools. So in the primary schools, those small boys or girls that have started sex abuse. So, well, it is not, the GBV is not about culture. So, not about whether you are disciplined or not about property, it is abuse and it is a crime. And that is why that those of us who are religious leaders, we must always preach and always counsel, because some men or some women have their mind are criminally minded, so they are criminals by nature. So in Nigeria, it is addressed under the Violence Against Persons, and that is why we have VAPP, that is Violence Against Persons. The church has a lot of role to play, and like I said, it is our responsibility as church leaders to preach on violence. Let them know that anybody who involved in such an act is committing a sin. It's a sin. And that is why we must intensify our sermons, especially during marriage, anytime we have the opportunity of preaching at marriage, or anytime we have opportunity of having something to do with marriage, so we must counsel and teach a balanced message. We thank God that the Nigerian government does not support this homosexuality. So we thank God, because there are some countries where for Nigeria not supporting, some people still practice this sinful act. So, and that is why anytime we have the opportunity, we must preach, and we must establish a church-based counseling unit. So, when we go, it is the responsibility of the church to set a place apart for counseling, especially to counsel our young ones. And anybody who is caught in such acts should be punished, either in the church or in the community, and fortunately the government of the land has sort of punishment for such people. So we should not overlook church. If we discover anybody doing that, such person should be punished. That is, the perpetrators. Church should not allow that perpetrator to go unpunished. We thank God that men's fellowship has been introduced, especially in several dioceses, especially in these dioceses. So the men's fellowship started many years ago in the eastern part, but now it has now been introduced to the super west, and we thank God. And anytime they meet or they will meet, they need to discuss on masculinity, so let them know what they are expected to do, and also use the opportunity to give a talk on this GBV. We must work with government agencies to enforce protection, especially on these laws. So we must assist the government. So it is we, those of us, so it is what because the perpetrators live among us. So it is we, the government. When we are talking about government, we are talking those in Alabaka and some other places. So it is we that must cooperate with them. Anybody that is involved should be reported and let the government also know. Any role that any government agencies can play to assist on this particular program, they should do it. So it is the wish of the church and what the church is trying to do, why the Church of Nigeria has great emphasis and they have given prominence, especially for this GBV, is not to spread, just to spread and to curb the abuse, and that is what the Church of Nigeria is doing. And I want to thank God that Church of Nigeria has encouraged many dioceses, which our diocese is one of them. I want to thank those of us, those people representing us, Canon Adedoja, Venerable Adebanjo, and some of you who have been working assiduously, especially for the eradication or to reduce, and especially to protect our women, men and young ones. And what do we do as a diocese to stop GBV. Well, we must empower our girls and our women. I want to thank God for the women organization. Like when I was doing my interview, immediately we were enthroned as bishop. My wife on her own from our pockets. So that is why we must not neglect our girls or our women. Let us encourage them and empower them. Transforming healthcare and doing a disability network. So let us encourage that. So health-wise, we want to thank God for Akure Diocese for the establishment of a hospital, and what I had in mind when we set it up, not to maximize profit or just to assist the poor ones. And thank God the first, what they call it, free medical something.
Free surgery. Surgery.
So the free surgical something we organized. I saw these Muslims we met in Mekawea, Celestial Church members. They came to the place for free health care. So I was glad because I was not expecting the place is not set up for Anglican members alone, but we encourage our members, and that is what I've been telling our clergy. Any of the members that is not financially buoyant, they should send the person to the hospital, and the church should take the financial responsibility. So this is how we empower, we can encourage them. So the preaching biblical messages that do not encourage. So those of us who are clergymen, bishops, or those of us who engage in one thing or the other in the church, any opportunity we have, we should preach, we should counsel, we should teach, especially on this important theme, GBV. So once again, I want to thank the organizers and the crew and the MTA. God bless you.
And His love is all I